All right, welcome to yet another fabulous Sunday night news and nonsense with myself and our special guest host, Pingcast. Total OS Today told me he couldn't make it this evening, and so I decided it'd probably be a good idea to still have the show on Sunday night and that sort of thing. And so it's going to be a little bit different. Today there will be, no fishing with dynamite. There will be no talking about dinosaurs, flagellants, and feces. And there will be no Total OS Today.
Boo!
Oh well. Pingcast, glad to have you as a co-host on the show. Tell me, how are those finals going now that you have cut down your Minecraft game playing to only 120 hours a week?
I told you I'd ace him, and I did.
Oh, okay. Well, that's cool, I suppose. All right. Well, welcome one and all to the Sunday night news and nonsense. And Nancora will be starting off tonight with our first news topic. Take it away.
Okay, today as our first news topic, we're going to be talking about the changes in Arch Linux.
Boo!
Basically, yeah, I've been on Arch Linux for 3 years. I've been quite a loyalist. I've got a video on my YouTube channel about it. And the changes have just come out of nowhere, and I feel like they've destroyed the heart of Arch Linux. Like, for example, removing the AIF, the Arch Linux installer framework, and using scripts was, in my opinion, a very bad idea, because Arch Linux was a do-it-yourself distro that even a newbie could pick up and just go with it. You could just learn. It was so easy. And now they've turned, and not that the installation now is easier or harder, is that they've removed what people loved about and what attracted people in the first place. And they put changes on us constantly. They constantly change things out of nowhere. No pre-warning, no real information for us to know what was coming, and broke our systems. And it's like they don't care about their community anymore. Along with the retirement of one of their lead developers on their media installations.
Wow. Oscald.
Where do I start on Arch Linux? Good God. I follow the RSS feed for the homepage, and basically every single article on that is a bad article. It's basically saying, okay, the new update causes XYZ problem, so here's this way to get around it. Or, actually don't update your system because you can't, because this package is broken. We pushed it to mainstream because, well, we're idiots. Arch Linux, I tried it. Me no likey. Me no likey. Me no likey. Me go back to Gentoo.
All right, Pingcast, what's your take on that?
The Slackware developers seem to make very sane decisions. I don't see this kind of stuff happening with Slackware. They don't do... There's just very little to complain about because they don't do stupid stuff.
And here is the Wicked Witch of the West, Total OS Today, to toast Spatry for using Arch.
We are live. It's the Total OS Today show. I am live. What you have just heard are all zombies. They will be removed immediately, and I will do the show by myself. See, I wasn't lying. Actually, Spatchy, what happened? You mentioned Arch. I wasn't supposed to be on, or I didn't think I was going to be on, because my Russian limo driver, Sergey Offendropov, I'm not sure what happened, but he made a left turn somewhere, and we wound up in, on the farmlands of, Kansas. See, what happened was, Spatry, he was driving with his new Arch Linux tablet, and and he lost his mind. Now, I tried to warn him, so thanks to you, Spatry. But you know what? You're fired. Get out of here. No, I'm just kidding.
But Arch Linux, I loved you so much. I was getting to a point where I was getting so used to you, and now you've ruined my life. This is worse than taking away my birthday. How could you? How could you? Oh!
One moment, Sergey, please, Sergey, look, you really don't have to call the KGB. It really wasn't Spatry's fault. Please, Sergey, please. Hello, guys. How are you?
Oh, we're hanging in there like a loose tooth, but let me tell you what, we got some news for you. Should Apple worry about Samsung's widening lead? Thus far, the race between Apple and Samsung for title of top global smartphone provider has been a neck-and-neck affair, with one company or the other occasionally receiving a boost from an analyst firm declaring that yes, Apple or Samsung was in the lead. It has happened again. This time, the report is from Juniper Research, and the word is not only that Samsung has taken the lead in the smartphone market in terms of unit shipments, but also that it is a sizable one. Now, funny, because we were talking about this last night in the Patent Wars show, and Apple is really trying to nail the heck out of Samsung. Total OS today. What was that quote that they wanted to settle out of court for?
It was like in the billions of dollars, and I think it was like what 2.1 or 3. It's some ridiculous number. Now, news items like this, these patent wars have really gotten out of hand as we have talked about. So maybe we should just spoof the names of the companies. For example, Spatry, instead of Apple versus Samsung, let's try this. Crapple versus Sam Schlong.
Funny. Yeah, you wait till you hear the discussion we had last night. It was really interesting because, even though these are all attacks on Android, and pretty much, even though Android is on top of the Linux kernel, let's say Ubuntu were to hit the store shelves tomorrow, and interestingly enough, I have an article coming up about this, but let's say it were to take off to a point where it goes to mythic proportions. What is to stop Microsoft or any of these other companies from trying to take down Ubuntu? Or Linux in general next? Definitely gives you food for thought. Patents need to stop. What news article have you got for us, Pingcast?
Well, in other news, Chrome OS Linux 2.1.1145 is powered by Cinnamon 1.4.
Yay!
So it's powered by Linux kernel 3.4.2 and features the new Cinnamon desktop environment, a fork of GNOME 3.
All right, cool deal. So now we can expect to be seeing something new in the store shelves and that sort of thing. But guess what? Linux is being sold by Dell now. They're going to have 3 different computers that are going to be offered. And they have, I can't remember the name of it. It's on the tip of my tongue right now, but they have a developer edition that they're going to be releasing. They're also going to be selling notebook computers with Ubuntu on them, and they're going to be selling computers with Red Hat Linux Enterprise installed on them instead of Windows 7. And Dell announced that it has 2 business class laptops, the Precision M4700 and the M6700 series. And this is new news. This just came out on July 25th. And so the Linux community is happy to hear about this. Now, Dell has offered Linux computers in the past, but it looks like it's gaining new momentum, and we're going to start seeing Linux on the store shelves. Way to go!
All I'll say is, where's my Gent 2?
In the grave with Arch.
Oh, as everyone knows, Gent 2 is as stable as anything.
If it's done compiling.
Oh, well, as the one man told me, patience is a virtue.
It's really funny that you mentioned that because I remember in my early days of experimenting with Linux, there was a Linux distribution that ran from a floppy disk. Remember those little 3.5 floppies? And I can remember I downloaded the images and put them on the floppy disk, and Lilo started to load everything up, and then there was this cute little message on the screen that says, "Please wait." And then 2 minutes later, another message popped up on the screen that said, "And wait and wait and wait. And I couldn't figure it out once it finally started to boot.
Patience is a virtue.
What you got, Total West, today?
No, somebody had mentioned the word compile, just food for thought. You realize that horses do a lot of compiling also.
Oh, you had to bring that up.
All right, let's see.
Damn you.
Hey, are we going back into the horse stable again, Total OS, today? How about the ATI drivers, huh?
Let's not go there.
So are we going to also have kernel talk then?
Oh, if we're talking about NVIDIA drivers, I'll introduce you to the Linux kernel 3.5, in which you do not need proprietary drivers at all. NVIDIA works like a charm.
Ooh.
That is good news, actually, yes.
Yeah, that is, especially after, I guess Mr. Travol's giving the love finger really, sent them a message, huh?
I heard they're gonna make a movie out of that. It's like a James Bond movie. Love Finger, he's the man. Never mind.
Don't quit your day job.
Let's see. What do I have? Oh yes, folks. Maybe we should set up a donation basket for Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. Apparently, his net worth fell by $72 billion this past week.
Oh.
Yeah, something with the Wall Street IPO, all the shenanigans. I'm not really sure what happened, but apparently, as it turns out now, he's going to have to drive maybe six Ferraris versus 7 Ferraris. But I think he'll survive.
Maybe he spent it all on that technology to blur people's faces on all these. Remember that news article where I was talking about, all these protesters and everything that have videos up on Facebook and that sort of thing. Now they have face. I can't even talk tonight. They have a face blurring feature now. Yeah.
Yes. Maybe he did, or maybe the KGB got wind of it, and now he has to pay his lawyers by $72 billion.
Oh, I'm sure he'll be fine. He can still swim in a swimming pool full of cash.
One thing I'd like to say about my flip, I can't talk either. This battery is catching on to me. One thing I'll say about Mark Zuckerberg is that he doesn't seem to be the guy that cares about money. As I recall, a long time ago, he coded a very useful piece of software that worked with music, and if you listen to music, it sort of gathered information about what you listen to and then generated music that you would listen to. And Microsoft offered him a lot of money for it, and Mark Zuckerberg said no. He put up the source code for it for free. So if we're talking about money and Mark Zuckerberg, I actually think Mark Zuckerberg's a good guy.
Do you know who was against software patents and big corporations before he got rich? Bill Gates.
Lies. He always had articles and that sort of thing. Before Microsoft even really took off, he had articles stating that software makers and developers need to be paid.
Well, paid, but I think he was afraid of some corporation getting very big, very powerful, very monopolistic, getting loads of patents and being able to stifle the industry. I mean, he believed in getting monetary reward for it, but, getting monopolistic was another thing. He didn't like that. Until, of course, he got a monopoly.
Come on. Bill Gates, as PDQ has said in IRC, threatened computer groups. He threatened what were they called? It was the group that Steve Wozniak and those guys were in. He threatened that group with software patents and everything. He was a douchebag. He always was and always shall be. He never supported open source or believed in all patents being, open. He never believed that. You can say that.
I never said he supported open source. You can agree with me today, the patent system is broken. It's a whole new thing since when it was first ruled that you can have software patents. It's gone to a whole new level with the Digital Millennium Copyright Act, and even since then, copyright laws have gotten stronger.
All right, kids, fight nicely, or I'm going to have to put sand in your Vaseline. Okay. I knew I'd figure out a way to get that in there. Android is facing renewed criticism for its app distribution policies, which developers are calling, quote, designed for piracy. Is this something that Google could have avoided a long time ago? The hubbub is grounded in a story that hit the wires earlier this week about game publisher Madfinger Games having to drop the price of the game Dead Trigger from 99 cents to free due to what they called unbelievably high piracy rates on Android. On the same day, Scottish app developer Matt Gemmell chimed in with a very thorough examination of why piracy is such a problem on the Android platform. Gemmell's main point: Android's very openness enables far more piracy than there exists on the Apple iOS platform. And if you did not already know, the Google's Android now has it implemented in the Jelly Bean that when you install an application now, it uses code that it is device specific. So you wouldn't be able to, share a copy of that software on or use it on another device. You can only use it on one specific device. But they're basically saying in this article, yeah, that's fine and dandy for the people that are using Jelly Bean, but what about the billions of other devices out there that will never get updated to the Jelly Bean, and people can easily swap and use pirated Android software. Now, this can have a lot of implications and that sort of thing. Using pirated software is wrong, folks. If you didn't pay for it, it's the same thing as stealing.
Windows 7 Pirate Edition.
Yeah, really. But, that's malware anywhere, so.
Oh, RMS thinks, he said he regards Windows as malware. So it depends on how you look at it.
Oh,
yeah,
like
so
Arch Linux isn't malware?
It is now.
Well,
Funny. All right, you got anything else to us today?
One moment. I'm on the conference call here with the KGB. Something about Arch Linux. Spatcher, you may want to bolt your doors like within the next 24 hours, as if that makes any difference. No, I'm just kidding. But well, speaking of Android tablets, boy, there's a nice transition. KGB to Android. No, but apparently Qualcomm is going to be rumored to produce the most expensive Android tablet on the market. It will have a quad-core Snapdragon processor, run Ice Cream Sandwich, and it will cost US dollars $1,300. Now the question is there room on the Android market for a tablet that costs 1,300 simoleons? What do you guys think?
No. Isn't the Windows tablet supposed to be priced at that or even higher? Supposedly $2,000 or $3,000 for them.
There was a report. It wasn't in the States, from Sweden or Switzerland. I can't remember, but it's possible that it may go as high as $2,000, and that's just if it's true. I'm not sure if it is, but if that's true, that's just not going to fly. Sorry, Microsoft. I love Windows 7. Windows 8 looks terrific on the tablet, usable on a desktop. But if it's really going to be $2,000 for a brand new, untested, unproven operating system for a portable tablet, I don't think that train is going to go very far in those tracks.
Yep, it's going to go over like a lead balloon at a 5-year-old's birthday party.
Ooh, 2,000 grand for a tablet? Ooh, I recently spent 2,000 pounds. Yeah, I recently spent 2,000 pounds on a solid-state drive, but not even I would spend that on a stupid tablet. That's just insane.
I don't really touch tablets. I can't stand the keyboard on them. They're just horrendous.
I could build a computer for half that, and it would beat the tablet hands down.
Well, look, I mean, people like their portability. We live in a portable society. It is convenient to have a portable form of communication. And by the way, Spatry and whoever's listening tonight, next week's Toss Today, that's the topic of the show, will be Portable Planet, talking about the past, present, and future of portable communications. Now, that being said, I don't think an expensive Android tablet is going to fly, because people, at least some consumers, have been accustomed to a tablet, if it's running Android, to be more, shall I say, consumer affordable versus, say, the Apple iPad.
Also a disposable planet. I mean, you buy this technology nowadays so cheap. I mean, they're priced to literally last only for a certain period of time, and then you just toss it and buy a new one.
That is the nature of technology nowadays. I'm not sure if that's all bad, except for the fact of the landfills being filled up with all this junk. So please recycle when you can. I do, or at least I try to. But yeah, look, in my opinion, if you buy a brand new desktop, laptop, tablet, if you keep it for more than 3 years, in my book, if it's 3 years old, it's probably obsolete, and maybe even that's too long, too late. But that's how I see it.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're lucky if you can even get the 3 years out of some of the technology that you buy nowadays. It seems as though, that they are designed to fail after a year and a half or 2 years.
If you're going to buy a, no-name product, from an unknown Oriental country, unstated Oriental country, chances are it's probably not going to last that long. But look, if you have an iPad, or a nicely built Android phone that's 2 or 3 years old, those are probably going to keep working. Yes, they're going to be outdated, but if it's built right from the beginning, and you haven't dumped it in your, cup of coffee or your dishwasher, chances are it's still going to run.
It's really funny that you mentioned that, because I've heard of people actually allowing their cell phones to take a little swim. And if you just take the battery out of it and let it dry out for a few days and reinsert the battery, a lot of times they actually come back to life for you.
Look, there's people, I've heard things of putting in like in a bag of rice, vacuum cleaner, not a vacuum cleaner, but like in a dry environment. But look, folks, here's the reality. Batteries, electricity, and water never were good friends. So the moment they meet and have a little fight and something gets short-circuited, I don't care what you do, that product, that phone, is never the same, right?
Yeah, but the thing is, you talked about putting it in a bag of rice. Cell phone chow mein does not taste very good.
You guys are doing it wrong. You have to put it in pure alcohol. And trust me, it works. Water, if you put it in pure water, if you put your phone right now in pure water and let it dry out, it would be fine. The fact is that water is impure, and it has impurities such as sodium and other chemicals, and that's what causes the problems. These little chemicals get attached to the circuitry. But if you clean it with pure alcohol, everything's good.
Good point.
Well, you know what it is, Patry, is that if there is pure water, and if you drop, say, an iPhone, the water gets soiled by closed source technology.
All right, Total West today. Now that I've had a chance to ruin your show, why don't you take us out?
Thank you all for listening. Sorry I came in a little bit late. I really didn't know until the last minute I was going to be here. Thank you, Spatry, for filling in. Thank you for all of the guests who showed up tonight on the Total West Today show. I'm usually here every weekend, every Sunday night, but I am taking some time off this week, and I was with family and my son's birthday and the whole family stuff. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Spatry, as always, for co-hosting every Sunday night. You know where everyone can join in here on the wonderful Linux distro community. And at this point, I would like to end the show as I always do. We will catch you sometime in the future. Ciao.
Ciao.
Ciao.